has been a while since I've done a vlog. I have been doing, I think I posted 6 podcasts, and I've taken a little break just because, I think it's been a month since I've done an episode, just because life has been literally insane. Since Christmas time, it's been like actually crazy. So today I just wanted to do like a little day in my life. Today is Saturday, and I have a couple things that I'm doing today. So I'm going to be going to a coffee shop to meet someone. We're going to be shopping for a refrigerator, and then I'm going to a Galentines Day party later. And so yeah, I have like so many life updates, it's crazy. I can't even remember like the last time I did a life update, or I don't know. So we are buying a house and we are closing next week, which is like insane to say because this is something that we've been working towards for literally years. And just the way that everything has played out, it's like obviously the Lord like has this for us, and it's just like every hurdle we've been able to get over, and everything that shouldn't have happened has happened and worked out. So it's just been like so amazing. So I'm definitely gonna tell you all about that. So yeah, sorry, my camera is like dirty. So we started the process. So we have been wanting to buy a house for like 2 years. Obviously you have to save up money, you have to fix your credit, life happens, whatever. And so last year in March of 2025, we were like, okay, we're just going to renew our lease for another year and stay at this house for another year, whatever. We were fine with it because obviously if the Lord had something for us, it would have happened. And so this past year in 2025, so from March of 2025 to January of 2026, basically, we were like, okay, we're gonna do what we need to do to get ourselves in the position to buy a house. And so we did that. We fixed my husband's credit, we paid off debt, like all this stuff. Like I worked extra hours trying to do whatever we needed to do. And then in probably September, maybe October of 2025, we're like, okay, now is the time for us to kind of like get with a loan officer and see like what do we need to do to like get the process started and all that, because our lease is up in March of 2026, and I'm in the real estate world, so I know that it takes a while to like do everything that you need to do in order to buy a house. And so we got the process started, and the loan officer that I reached out to, she was like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And so we did whatever she wanted us to do. Like we only charged my husband's credit cards like a little bit and then paid them off super quickly, like did whatever the rules that she told us to do. And then she calls us and she's like, hey, it's been a month and your scores look great. You're approved, basically. And so we're like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like we're so excited, and we're like, wow, this is actually gonna happen. And so I talked to my boss, because when you're a real estate agent, you have a broker, and usually what happens is that when you sell a house as a listing agent or a buyer's agent, you get a commission, and so you get 3% commission. And so I talked to him, and usually what happens is the agent, so if I was to sell someone a house, I would get 3% commission, and then I would have to split that commission with my broker. And so he would get 30% of it and I would keep 70% of it. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, we're trying to buy a house and I'm wanting to know like what's my commission split, so I can know like what to expect as far as like my commission. And he was like, oh, you can keep your full 3% commission. And so I was like, oh, that's awesome, like I don't have to split it at all, so I get to keep the whole 3%, which is like $7,000 or whatever. So obviously that's like a huge blessing, not having to give any of that away. And then in the same conversation, he was like, and I have a house for sale, and I think that is perfect for you, and if you want to buy it, I will cover all the closing costs. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing, because the closing costs when you go to buy a house is like, it can be anywhere from like $10,000. Like closing costs is a lot. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. So being his listing coordinator, I knew what house he was talking about because I'm the one that put the house on the market. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like this house is, when I listed that house, I was like, I want this house, like, but I listed it in like September of 2025. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this house is gonna be gone, like it's not gonna be available. There was no point in me even like dreaming about getting it because we weren't even like in the position to be buying a house at that time, because our lease wasn't up until March. But it's been sitting on the market and there hasn't been a buyer for it. And so when he was like, if you want this house, you can have it and I'll cover all the closing costs. And so I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And so he was like, the only thing is that you have to use my lender because he has like an office and the lender's in his office, and so it's easier to just be able to communicate with her directly instead of like having this outside lender. And so I'm like, okay. So I ended up having to tell the girl like that was helping us before, like, I totally appreciate you like so much for helping us and whatever, but we have to use this lender if we want this house. And so she was like, oh no, that's fine, like whatever. Thank God that she wasn't like super hurt or offended by it. I think in the like real estate world, personally, you get used to people like leading you on basically. And I was like, I feel so bad that I am doing that to her, but it ended up working out. I don't think she's the type of person to be like holding a grudge or whatever. And so I ended up, oh my gosh, this lighting is horrible. And so I ended up reaching out to the loan officer that he said we had to use, and she's collecting all of our information, and she's like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. It looks like your husband has a collection that needs to be like paid off, and so we ended up paying that off. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna try to run him for a conventional loan because that's what the other girl said we were approved for. And this is probably like language that people don't know. Just I know it because I'm in the real estate world, so this might be kind of confusing, but I'm trying to do my best to explain it. So she comes back and she's like, okay, he is not approved for conventional. And so in my mind, I'm like, great, like we're not gonna be able to get this house because that was like what we were gonna do. And so I'm like devastated because I'm just like, I don't know why, basically, like why would the Lord tell us or let us make it this far and then it'd be like, okay, it's over. And so I talked to her and I was like, there has to be another option. Like I know that the Lord has shown me, literally he has shown me my family living in that house. Like I know this house is for us. And so she was like, okay, we're gonna try to do USDA, which is even better than conventional because conventional is you have to do 3% down, which is like $8,000, and whatever. And so with a USDA loan, you don't have to put it's 0% down, and you don't have to pay private mortgage insurance. And with a conventional loan, you do. And so with the USDA loan, you get to do 0% down, and you also get to do, like I said, no private mortgage insurance, so your monthly payment is lower. And so I'm like, if we can get approved for this, that would be like literally ideal. And so the house qualified for USDA, like the house property has to qualify for it. So it has to be like in a certain neighborhood, a certain area of town. Like it can't be like in the middle of the city. Like it has to be like kind of on the outskirts of a city. And so it qualified for that. And so long story short, like we've been going back. This has been like the most grueling process ever. Like I'm talking about, she wants every document ever. Like if she asked for our firstborn child, I would be like, oh, like this process has been insane. But in the most stressful, like I have broken out in hives because I'm like, this is the most stressful situation I've ever been through in my entire life. Long story short, we are approved for USDA loan, and so we get to do 0% down, no PMI. I get to keep my full 3% commission, and the seller, which is my boss, he's paying all the closing costs. And so basically we're buying this house and I'm getting paid like $7,000. So it's just been like, even like down to the inspection company, we schedule the inspection and he calls back and he's like, hey, I'm not gonna charge you for the inspection, like don't worry about it. Like literally little things like that. I'm just like, okay, like obviously the Lord has this for us. And even like with USDA loans, it's for families that, I mean, the cap that the family can make is like $119,000 a year, and we are literally like right there at the threshold. I'm talking about like $1,000 a month, like under. And so we are like barely qualified for it. Like if I would have done any more work last year, or if so this past year in 2025, my husband, he made decent money, but not as much as he did in 2024. And so we're just like, man, like, that's crazy. You made this much in 2024, but you didn't make this much in 2025. And we're just like, okay, whatever. Like, we were fine and it's fine. But now we know it's for a reason, because if he would have made more money or the same amount as he did in 2024, then we would have not qualified for the USDA loan, and we wouldn't be able to be buying this house. So yeah, we are closing. Today is February 7th, and we are closing on February 18th. So we have like 10 days before we close, and yeah, it's just like super exciting. The house is in Willis, and so that is going to be a change for sure, because I have been in the Spring, like, Woodlands area since I moved here. Well, no, actually, we lived in Conroe for a little bit. But yeah, we've never lived in Willis. We've always either been in Conroe, the Woodlands, or Spring. And so it's gonna be, it will be good though. I know, like, it will be good. The neighborhood we're in is like literally right off the lake. Like, you can see basically the lake from our house. And Willis, when people think about Willis, I feel like they think like, oh, it's like small or whatever, but there's so much stuff close to our house. Like, every grocery store you could ever want. There's a Goodwill right there by our house. Just everything. And so I'm excited. This is gonna be like a new chapter, and I'm super excited. And honestly, like, this whole entire everything that's happening is like glory to God, honestly, because it's just been every day I'm just like, wow, like, that's crazy. And so it is farther for my husband's work, and he doesn't have the most reliable car. And so, like, our first thing that we need to do is get his car fixed. And so his boss called him yesterday, and she was like, hey, so he brought it to the shop, and they're like, okay, it's gonna be like $1,500 and some change or whatever in order to get like the full workup for the car to be like pristine condition, like whatever. And so we're like, okay, like, we'll figure it out. We'll like dip into our savings, whatever. And then his boss calls him, and she's like, hey, did you hear the good news? And he's like, no, like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, you're getting an extra bonus this month, and it's $1,500 and whatever change, like basically the same exact amount that we need to fix his car. And so it's just crazy. Like I said, it's just like literally glory to God. And honestly, I can say this, sorry, someone texted me, that our life has changed significantly. And I'm not going to say everything in life is about being blessed and like all that, but our life has changed significantly since we have started tithing. Like, no matter what, we tithe. Like, even if I get $100 check, I'm sending $10. Like, we are giving 10% of everything that we make, and it has made like a significant difference in just how everything has worked out. And so if you're not tithing, I know you can be in the position of like, oh my gosh, I have nothing. You still want me to give, but like, I think the Lord likes that. Not likes that, but he appreciates that you're willing to trust him and have faithfulness, that you will give him something, and then he'll, obviously they say like he times it by 7, or times the blessing by 7, I think, or 10, I don't know, but whatever. Like I said, we have been tithing religiously, and he has blessed us like beyond what we ever could have thought or imagined. And so yeah, that is just a life update. I have like packed the whole house basically, and so today we're gonna go shop for a fridge because the house doesn't have a fridge in it. Thankfully we have our own washer and dryer, so we just need to get a fridge. We're not gonna get one today. We're probably just gonna look at them just to kind of see like how much they are and what do we want. Right now I'm at a coffee shop to meet someone. Obviously y'all know I'm on the worship team at the church, and it's like a requirement for us to meet with a leader, or like, I don't know what she is, I guess a spiritual leader in the church. And so it's a requirement for us to meet with her, and just, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I'm assuming the Lord will lead us to what we are supposed to be talking about. And then yeah, as far as the worship team, that has been going okay. I am leading worship on the same day that we close, and so I'm super nervous about that, but I am also ready to kind of like take the next step and not be so nervous about it, and just be like, okay, obviously the Lord put me in this place for a reason, and people believe in me, and people, like the leaders, believe that I have the talent, and the Lord has given me an instrument, and so I'm gonna use it. And so I'm not saying I have the best voice ever and I am just like a Carrie Underwood, like, no, I know that. But I think it's about being vulnerable and just like showing the Lord, like, I'll praise you no matter what. And just being a leader is also like a special thing too. Like, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, and we kind of had a meeting about that. Like, when you're on the worship team, you do have to like act a certain way, and so it kind of just holds you accountable. And so yeah, I just really like worshiping, and like I said, I may not have the best voice ever, but I have a willing heart to worship. And so obviously with more time and more practice, I'll get better. And who knows, like, I know the Lord has showed me that I would love to be a part of like a youth worship team and kind of lead that, not lead it, but like maybe co-lead it or whatever, like be a part of that. And so I know that I have to be patient about that and like let it happen when it's supposed to happen. So I'm just gonna keep praying about that, and obviously the Lord will make it happen if it's meant to. And so yeah, and then later I have a Galentines Day party that the church is like, the ladies at the church are like throwing, and so that'll be fun. So yeah, that's just a little life update. Life is crazy, and yeah, I'm still working for my real estate job. I'm working for Magnifico Media. I'm working for my husband's cousin. I'm working for my sister. I'm a mom. I still have Mamas in the Word. I still am on the worship team. I'm still volunteering in the children's church, volunteering in the toddler room. Like, yeah, life's crazy. But that's how I like it. I like to be doing things. And I feel like, so Naomi is 13 months now, and I feel like I'm finally getting out of like that postpartum, and I'm like getting back to myself. And so that feels great too. To kind of just like, if you're a mom, you know what I mean? Like, the first year postpartum is pretty rough. You're just like, you're breastfeeding and you're fatter than you were before, and you don't have time to do whatever because the baby wants to be held all the time and whatever. But now Naomi's like walking and she can play, and yeah, I think we are done having kids. And I don't know if I'm a selfish mom for saying that. I don't want to have more than 2, but I know what I can handle, and I know that the life that I want to give my kids, and when they grow up or when they're teenagers or whatever, and I know that if I had more than 2, I wouldn't be able to do that. And just the world that we live in today is so evil and disgusting and horrible that it's just like, the thought of bringing another kid into this horrible world is just like, I don't even know if I would want to do that. Like, Jesus, please come back before my kids even grow up and like have to experience anything. Like, ugh. Anyways, I'm about to meet Mindy in this coffee shop, and then I will see y'all I'll try to take a video in there, but I am really bad about remembering. And if not, I'll just see y'all after.
736-648?
That's my number?
Yeah, is it?
346-273-6648. Doesn't even know my number. Okay. Okay. So I met with the lady. Her name is Mindy. It went well. We were there for like 2 hours. And then I came and got them, little Rob and Naomi, and we are going to go to Home Depot, I think, and we have these little paint chips so we can get paint to touch up all the spots in the house, the rental house, from like all the holes in the walls and stuff like that. And then we're gonna look at refrigerators there too, and kind of see like what the prices are, what we like, what we don't like, so we know after we close like what we want to buy. Kind of just like window shop. Probably look at some like wallpaper and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna do wallpaper off of Amazon because they have cuter options, but I don't know what Home Depot has. I also want to look at like the pale and stick tile because I want to do pale and stick tile in the laundry room. There's a lot of things I want to do at the new house. If we go today, we were supposed to go today to show my mom and my stepdad the house, so I'll take a little video so y'all can see. But yeah, that is what we are doing, so I will see y'all at Home Depot. So we like this one. This one we have now, but it's the landlord's. But we also, I really like this one. And you can make ice cubes that are in the shape of a ball. And this one is only 1,200, or I guess 13. But this one's cool. There's a lot that are cool. Look how nice this is. With the maroon or blue. And it's not that far out of our budget, so we may get this one. Okay, we are here in the new house. I'm gonna show y'all like a little bit of it. This is the kitchen with the green cabinets. We were shopping for a fridge because we don't have one. I want to change out like this fixture. That is questionable. I don't know what to do with that. So much more counter space than what we have now. Pantry, dining room. I'm gonna change out that. The living room is over here. And that's like the bathrooms and 2 bedrooms, and then our bedroom with the bathroom. And then an indoor laundry room, which is nice because the laundry room we have now is in the garage. So yeah. Okay, we are back home. Where did we go? Or what's the last thing y'all saw? The house. We are back home. I am getting ready to go to the Galentines party. So this is what I'm wearing. You can't really see. Let's see. My Uggs. So this is outfit. I don't know what they're doing in there. No. So we're just gonna like touch up my makeup. It looks empty because I already packed everything. So yeah, I am going to probably do like more blush, maybe eyeliner, and then I'm gonna go to the party. Okay, I am headed to the Valentine's party and my nails are Valentine's. I found this ring when I was packing. It's my dad's mom's ring, and my dad gave it to me on my wedding day, and so I found this, and so I'm like, oh, this matches me perfectly. So I am wearing my little pink set and I am ready for Valentine's Day. So when I was talking, so the woman that I had the meeting with, her name is Mindy, and she's like super sweet, and she works for a place called True Hope, and True Hope is I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's like a counseling place where you can go and like get counseling or get therapy, whatever, but it's like with Jesus, and like obviously that's incorporated into it. And so she works there or volunteers there. I don't think they get paid, but and so I was just talking to her about how I have things from my childhood that are still like haunting me, basically like trauma from my childhood. And so me and her are gonna meet again, and we are going to do a type of therapy called, I can't remember what it's called, but you like listen to like sounds in your ears, and then you hold like little things in your hands that are like vibrating, and it's supposed to be like, I think it's called like, I can't remember what it's called, honestly. But I've looked into this before because this specific thing that happened is like literally like affecting my marriage and the way I view my 2 children together, just like everything. And so it has like had a really big effect on me. So I am looking forward to getting in touch with her and doing that session and trying to get this like trauma out of my brain. And so that was really cool to talk to her about and be able to like just feel safe with her and tell her like, yeah, this is what I've been dealing with. And then after that, we went to the house and we measured. Oh my gosh, the sun is literally in my eyeballs. Literally, what's the point of, I guess I'll have to drive like this. Or maybe I can raise my seat. We measured the walls for the beadboard, and then we measured the walls for how much wallpaper we will need And then in the bathroom, I really want to change out so our room and our bathroom is like last on my list. Like that's like my last priority. Wow, if the sun could pick where it would want to be, that would be amazing. That is the last priority for me. So my first priority, I think, is going to be the kids' bathroom, because the vanity in that bathroom is like microscopic. And so I would really, there's a vanity at Lowe's that we saw, and it's the same color green as the cabinets in our kitchen and the same countertop, like the same, I think it's quartz countertops. And so it was only, so if you get the vanity and you get the sink and the faucet and everything, and basically you just like install it and hook up the water. I think, I don't really know much about plumbing or anything, I'm assuming that's how it works. And it was only like $600, which I know you're probably like $600, but I think it would make like a significant difference in the bathroom. And so that, I think that's the first thing that I want to do, is change that, change the vanity, change the mirror in that bathroom, and then change the light. And so I think that's going to be our first project. I don't know how soon after we move in we're going to get to that. It's just like, I want the way that my brain works is that I want everything to be like done, and I know that's not realistic. And so I know we're gonna like have to slowly do things, but that's the first thing that I would like to do. And so we move in on February 21st, and my Mama's in the Word meeting is March 14th. And so ideally we would have the bathroom changed up a little by that meeting, but I don't know how realistic that will be. Yeah, I don't know how realistic that will be. So I guess we'll see. I think I'll probably do like a follow-up video, and kind of show y'all like, okay, this is updates we've made. But that is the first thing on my list. So yeah, I want to get back into filming the podcast episodes. Like I said, I just took a break, just because I knew that it was too much for me mentally. Like the past month has been literally insane. We went on the cruise. Yeah, I don't think I talked about that. We went on a cruise without the kids, and that was really amazing and fun, and I definitely want to go on another cruise. I feel bad that we had my sister watch them for a couple days, and then our friend Laura watched them for a couple days too, and I just feel bad. There was comments made that my sister wasn't having a great time, and that she doesn't want to be a mom anymore, and just like really like, I don't know, it was just really interesting. So I probably don't want to leave them with anyone ever again, just from the guilt on my end of like, oh wow, they were having a terrible time, I hate that. So not the kids were having a terrible time, whoever was watching them. So, and then it just makes me question like my parenting, like, oh wow, are they really that hard to watch, or are they really that bad of kids to where it makes people think like, wow, I never want to have a kid. So didn't love that, but the actual cruise was fun. My sister got married in Cozumel when we were there. I've never been out of the country, and I've never been on a beach that beautiful before, so that was amazing. So yeah, that, like I said, this just since Christmas, it's literally been straight like chaos. So I think once I get into the house, I get everything, once I get all the furniture where it needs to be, and kind of like get things going in that new house, then I will do another podcast episode. But yeah, I'm on my way to the Galentines party, so I will see y'all when I get there. I'm at Walmart. I'm getting this from my husband. Okay, it is the next day. We're getting ready to leave for church. So last night was at the Galentines. Today we're probably just gonna have like a chill day after church. So this is my fit. Hopefully my books are fall. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.